And the guy brings it to me for like, hey man, it's not running very good. It's just got a small misfire.
Oh, look at that. Lucky first go.
But seriously.
How about that?
Oh, here's his old starter, dude. I'll give him the good news.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a starter.
Nope.
I guess the moral of this story is, you know, have people look for duct tape. Dude, we gotta pull your pants up there, brother. Tyson, he used to be a power lifter. I'm telling you, the guy's legs were like 3 tons. But that's been what, 25 years ago?
Yeah.
Or something like that. A 2016 Ram 1500 with a small V6, a 3.6 liter in it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be my choice of truck, but okay, that's cool. If some people don't need a truck for what I think they should be used for, but that's okay.
So we have here here's the customer states.
While driving vehicle, lightning bolt came on vehicle, lost power, had to coast to the side of the road. The lightning bolt come on. Lightning bolt. Customer brought it to another shop. They replaced the starter, started the vehicle, and heard a noise. Shop shut off the vehicle, took out new starter, said it's something else. Vehicle has no starter. Customer did not hear this noise. Customer did clean the throttle body to try to remedy, did not work. Okay, so he's telling us. So we're
there's that note, and there's one other one down
So
here.
he's got no starter in it right now?
No.
Well, how are we supposed to test the motor?
So I figure first thing, I just get a breaker bar, make sure it turns over. Then if it turns over, we're gonna have to tell the guy, okay, well, we can bench test his starter,
right,
see if it works, and then say, I can put this one in, or we can put in a new one.
Yeah, you know, it's like any engine. I can pull the dipstick, say it's got oil in it now, but you know, how does it run? How does it sound? Don't know till I get it up and running. So I either need fuel in the tank or I gotta be able to crank it over.
Yep.
So
we can go out here, let me grab my
let's go see what we
bar.
got. Is this the one with the flat tire on it too?
It's the one with the American flag windshield cover.
Oh. Because I was going to say, if it was the one with the flat tire, I was going to be like, that's not a good sign either. You know, you're starting to add up all this crap. You want to get something to lay on?
No, let me get the step. Pocket full of sockets. Yeah, there were some other notes saying he had codes, and so I have my suspicions.
What's the lightning bolt, dude?
That's usually for throttle. It means throttle problem. Oh, there it is.
Oh my gosh, we got enough room in here. We could get in there and have lunch together, dude, for crying out loud. How often do we see a truck with that much engine bay room?
Not very often.
Never.
Oh, look at that. Lucky first go.
But seriously.
How about that?
Oh, here's his old starter, dude.
Yeah.
So seriously, this is like a treat, man. I've never seen that much engine in a truck.
So they put this engine in the minivans. This is the one that the oil cooler always leaks on.
Shall we pull the dipstick and see what we got?
We can, but let's see here.
Let's pull the dipstick, dude.
There's some oil in it. That's good.
It's not over full. It's right in between the line. Sometimes it's over full, like a lot. It tells me the guy, you know, that's a dead indicator of a few things. The guy ran it low on oil, and people think like, well, now let's overfill it to see if that'll fix the noise I had. Does it turn?
So let's see here, yeah.
Okay, so the engine does turn.
The engine turns over.
Keep going, just turn it all over 360, and let's see if it goes clunk at some point. Uh-oh. Is that, you think you're on compression?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess let's bench test that starter real quick and see if it's a good one. That way we don't have to sell him one if you don't need one.
Okay.
I'm gonna bench test this starter. That's gonna whack my shoulder. I have to lift that up there, dude. We're gonna bench test this starter, but I wanna make it clear, this is not under a load. This is just to see if the solenoid's working and it makes any weird noises. So if you want to understand what we're doing is, this is ground, this would be grounded because it's bolted to the engine block. This is the power to the starter from the battery, and this is what we'd call the excite wire or the crank wire. And we're going to see if the Bendix kicks this out and engages that starter drive. Go ahead. So everybody that's watching this, you guys want to understand how this works. The ring gear is always running here. That's the big gear of the flywheel. So that ring gear goes right by here. And the way a starter engages is, you can see this gear's coming from here and it's kicking out here. That's engaging the big ring gear, the flywheel gear that's on the back of the engine. That's how every gas and diesel vehicle starts. I want to make sure I've said that's how every vehicle starts, and people pile on me and they go, "Not electric vehicles, Dave." I'm like, you got me. Okay, so the starter's good. So let's whip it in and then see what the engine sounds like.
Our handy dandy car mover here. Truck's supposed to have tow hooks at the front.
Push that. Tell me when, Sergey. Is that good?
That's good.
That is the best tow vehicle on the market right there, dude. An old golf cart. Let's get in there and get the starter in it.
See how they've left it.
It's got a little bit of an oil leak in it, too.
That one, yeah.
I noticed out where we had it in the parking lot, there was a little oil stain, and I see a fresh one here.
Yeah.
That's always kind of not a good sign when
Yeah, let's see how the last shop, left it. You get something that's already been taken apart, you're not sure what you're gonna find. Okay.
Lift it up a little more, dude. I'm taller than you. A little more. Okay, that's good.
All right, let's find that starter location.
Where's the starter going, this dang thing? Okay, well, yeah, the starter ain't in it, and I don't see any oil leak. I mean, there's nothing here, just a little bit of drain plug leak, but the rest of the motor looks pretty good. Let's rotate the motor over now that we got it up in the air. It makes it a little easier.
I got my bar ready here. Whoop.
Uh-oh.
Well, we hit a stop there.
Did you? Let me see. Oh, okay, go the other way.
Let's see here. Okay. Whoop. Yep, we
stopped again?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not a good sign. But what's weird is I don't see any oil. If it threw a rod if it's seized up, it wouldn't move.
You wonder why they left the starter out. Let's see. They leave anything hanging out here?
I don't see anything, dude. And it's all dry. How many miles are on this?
207,000.
This thing is dry as a bone for 207. But maybe he just threw a rod and it didn't come through. Huh. Oh, wait a minute, dude.
Huh?
Wait a minute.
What's going on?
Dude, there's a hole in the freaking motor.
What?
Yeah, look, right here. Do you see it?
You gotta be kidding me.
No.
Wow.
The guy got a window in the side of his block. I don't think it was put there by the factory, dude.
Nope.
Okay. Well, yeah.
There's nothing about, there's notes about it was running weird and...
Well, we don't have to put a starter in it to tell him what's wrong with the motor, do we?
No, we don't.
Were you with me when we had that one vehicle? When that guy brought me a vehicle, a used car inspection, and it had duct tape over the hole of the motor? and it just had a small misfire.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
I do not remember that.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
Oh.
This reminds me of that. There's no oil leak anywhere. You know, the engine now it's seized up, but I'm wondering when it blew, I'll call the guy.
Yeah, see
But
what happened.
this reminds me of that time when I found a small hole like that one, and a guy just put duct tape over it. And he sold it to somebody, dude.
Oh, man.
He sold it to somebody, and the guy brings it to me for like, hey man, it's not running very good. It's just got a small misfire. I start looking at it, I'm like, yeah, one of the cylinders doesn't have any. Then I noticed there's a little bit of an oil leak under it, and I start looking. There's duct tape on the side of the motor and a whole hole in it like that. It's crazy. Let me call the customer. I'll give him the good news.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a starter.
Nope.
But then I'll give him the bad news too, that he needs a motor. All right, well, at least we don't have to charge him labor to put a starter in it. I guess the moral of this story is, is before you buy a used vehicle, have a used car inspection done on it. Have people look for duct tape.
Hey, how we doing?
I'm good, doing good. How are you? I got good news and I got bad news.
Okay.
The good news is we're not going to charge you to put a starter in the truck, so you won't have to pay for that. And the bad news is it's because you got a hole in the side of your motor and it's not worth me putting a starter on it.
I got a hole in the side of the motor.
And it's right where the starter would go. I'm shocked. The shop didn't tell you that?
No, the other shop that I initially took the truck to said that they couldn't get the truck to the turnover.
Uh-huh.
So they went ahead and replaced the starter.
Uh-huh.
And once they replaced the starter, it turned over, but there was a big rattle in the engine, so they immediately shut it down and called and told me what was going on.
Yeah.
And then they told me that there was no fluid in the motor, no oil. And I know I checked that truck out when everything happened initially, and made sure there was fluid in there, because I took the throttle body off and cleaned it.
I did pull the dipstick on the engine, and you do have, it's up on the oil. It's registered on the dipstick, so I can't speak to why they didn't think there was any fluid in the truck. But yeah, you've got about a 2-inch hole in the side of your block. So my guess is that maybe the motor wouldn't start with the starter, because we've bench tested your starter that you provided for us, the old one, and it works. So I think what they probably did is the old starter probably engaged or something, and the motor had seized, because that's why it blew a rod, and then, them moving around with it, it started it, or, I don't know. But what was the problem with the car before you had anybody else look at it? Why did you have someone else look at it?
It was because I was traveling home from work one day on I-80, and I lost power in the truck. And it was just for like 10, 15 seconds, and then the power came back. I went down the road another 2.5 miles, and the same thing happened again, and I had to coast over to the side of the road. I couldn't get the truck to turn back over, and I went through the fluids, I went through everything on there, but I couldn't get anything to turn over. The check engine light had come on, that lightning bolt symbol had come on, and I was getting a code for the crankshaft position sensor.
So what probably happened is the motor blew up on you out there at I-80. Either the rod was seizing up, that's why you were losing power, and then it cooled down, maybe it loosened up, or maybe it broke the rod and threw it. I wouldn't know any of this without removing the motor and tearing it down. It really doesn't matter. Your motor is junk with a hole in the block. I couldn't even rebuild it. So you really, as I see it, you've got maybe 3 options. One of them would be, of course, drop, stop, and roll. Get rid of it. Be done with it. Another one would be to have us pull the engine out and get you a remanufactured motor with a 3-year, 100,000-mile warranty, and fix the truck, or find a used engine and put a used engine in it. But so really, if you're going to fix it, you only have 2 options: either get a remanufactured motor with the full warranty, or a used engine that comes with a 90-day part-only warranty, and try to find one that's got 100,000 miles on it out of a wrecked truck or something like yours. But I can tell you, you're not going to need a starter.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll have Aubrey, your service advisor, put that together with you with the 2 options, either the a remanufactured engine with a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide warranty, or a local used engine, and we'll try to get the mileage on it and everything. We can test that engine on our sim test to make sure that it's got compression and oil pressure and stuff like that. And as old as the truck is, that might be your best way, especially with 230,000 miles on it. But, tell me now, if you're not interested in, a $10,000 repair, I don't want to waste your time or her time, but if you need the truck and somewhere in that area will work for you, I'll have her get a more accurate quote for you.
Okay. Yeah, give me some numbers and I'll have to make some decisions, I guess.
Understand. She'll probably be back to you sometime today. And we'll get some photos. It's in a bad spot. We'll send you a photo. It's not going to be the greatest, but it's up in a hard place to get our camera. But I think we can get a photo, and we'll get that texted over to you to show you what we're talking about here in just a little bit.
Okay, I appreciate that, Dave. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry about the bad news. We'll be in touch.
Well, I kind of expected it, so no big deal.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
All right. I don't know how the other shop missed that. I don't know. But anyway, we'll get him a quote, and hopefully we can get him back on the road for something that works for his budget.